Okay, so we'll do the second Mamer in the Parshas Masei. The Mamer Eila Masei b'nei Yisrael asher yotzu me'eretz Mitzrayim l'tzivois b'yad Moshe v'Aaron. So the pasuk says that these are the journeys. It counts the different stops that the b'nei Yisrael left as they went from Eretz Mitzrayim, and they went l'tzivoisam with all the army, and who led them? Moshe v'Aaron. The Alter Rebbe is going to explain. Why do we say the Masei b'nei Yisrael, they went out from the land of Mitzrayim, the first Masei, but here it says Masei b'nei Yisrael, means that all the journeys, they were still going out of Mitzrayim, basically, even though they already went out of Mitzrayim the first time, but they were still keep on going out of Mitzrayim. And also, what's the point in saying Moshe v'Aaron? Basically, the Alter Rebbe explains that this journey in the desert was a spiritual way of subduing all these masses. Are the 42 masois? 42 is 6 times 7. 7 are the 7 meters. That's the 7 meters of the desert are the negative meters. And the idea of the journey of Mitzrayim is to subdue and uproot the negative mitzvahs, the mitzvahs, and to bring in the positive mitzvahs. This is all the way to go to the land of Eretz Yisrael. But we're all going out of Mitzrayim all the time. Even if you've already got to one step and you've got to the next, you're still in Mitzrayim. Only a Yardin Yereche, when you come to the end of to the land of Eretz Yisrael, is when you're free. Let's look inside. Lahavin Loshin Eila Masei. So let's understand what is this language of Eila Masei Shu Loshin Adam. This is a plural. Uksiv, but it says Asher Yotzu Me'eretz Mitzrayim, that they went out of Eretz Mitzrayim. So you see that it's not a level of a lot of going. They went out Yotzu Me'eretz Mitzrayim, but in Eretz Mitzrayim Hurak Yitzion Nisinu Rishona. From land of Mitzrayim, it's only the first time they left and then travel. Ramses L'Sukkos. The Yidden traveled from Ramses L'Sukkos. Ramses was Mitzrayim. Sukkos was out of Mitzrayim. So the first journey is from Ramses to Sukkos. So why does it say Masei? We're always traveling. All the journeys are from Mitzrayim. Gam Lahavin also to say Ma'u B'yad Moshe v'Aaron. What does it mean here? In the hand of Moshe v'Aaron. Alter Rebbe will explain, according to Chassidus, Alter Rebbe explained the level of Moshe, the level of Aaron. How are we able to journey in the desert? How are we able to conquer the midas? That's through the level of Moshe and Aaron, and that's why it's Moshe v'Aaron. But in the Pashtus, what is the Moshe v'Aaron? What is the Moshe v'Aaron? Begam, and also we need to understand Shahadei K'tzas HaMatzor is Hoyachre Mesaron. Some of the journeys took place after Aaron passed away. He didn't come to the last. He passed away earlier. And here we're saying all the journeys are in the hands of Moshe Aaron. Our people will understand it because we're talking about the Madrega of Aaron, the Madrega of Moshe. So therefore, the journeys out of Mitzrayim, out of your limitations, out of your own midos, how did they take place? Through Moshe and Aaron. To understand what is the 42 journeys. By Yisrael, by Yachal. They journeyed and they came. What does it mean? What do we need to go and travel and come 42? What's the idea behind it? And also, the pasuk says, "Vahi bin Soya ha'orein," when the Aaron journeyed, by Yemer Moshe, Kuma Hashem, v'yanusu mesanecha mipanecha. So then he said, "Get up, Hashem, let the enemies run from you." Uvenucha yomer shuba Hashem, and when it rested, it's shuba Hashem. So here we are saying certain things were taking place every time when they got up to go. It says Yanusu Misanecha, when they settled, it said Shuma Hashem. They the main thing was to come to the Yard Yerechah. That was in front of Yericho. That's where they were journeying to. So what's this idea of these stops and all these camps and all these ideas here? Let me go to explain that. Hine. Hamidbar shaholchu b'bnei Yisrael nikra midbar ha'amim. So the desert in which the Yidden traveled is called the desert of the nations. A desert of the nation means that's the middle of the nations. Or there's another passage that says, Uksiv, he led you in the desert, Chulu. It says, Nochosh, Sorov, Akrov, a snake, a Sorov, and a scorpion. So you see that the Midbar was a place, first of all, it's Midbar Amim, and second of all, it's a place where you have all these dangerous kinds of animals. Nochosh, Sorov, Akrov. Shekola klippas mekablim chayusim and amidbar hanal, because all the klippas they get their energy from the midbar, the desert. That's the place where the klippas get their energy from. V'hinei Knesses Yisrael nikra b'shem rochel. They're called like a sheep. That's references to the Kediksiv. We see Rochel Mevake al Baneha. So of course, this is talking about Rochel Imeinu, our mother Rochel. She is crying for her children. So we call her Rochel. Rochel means a sheep. Uksiv. So we established that Rochel is called Knesses Yisrael because Rochel is for her children. So that's why it's Knesses Uksiv. A sheep, those who shear it, it's silent. Most animals, you try to shear them, they'll jump, they won't be silent. But a sheep stands there. First of all, most animals you don't shear most animals. And besides the point, they don't allow you to shear. The only ones that are sheared are the sheep. And also she allows herself to be sheared, and she doesn't kick the sheep, allows the shear. So what is that idea? We're saying that the rochel is by like a sheep. What does that mean? The pasuk says, Umalchuse b'koil mashallah. Malchus Vakol Mashallah means that Hashem is Malchus, everything he dominates, everything gets its chayis from godliness. Vakol Mashallah. Shafilu Achitzoinim, even the other ones, Mekablim, Chayusam, Mebikinas Malchus. They get their level from their energy, they get from the level of Malchus. Rak, Shekol Chayusam, Einoi Elo Mebikinas Sidus. Where do they get their energy? The chitzonim, they get it like from a hair, a very minute, a very small part. Why do we compare a small part to sidus? The hairs are a level of external. They're not the essence of the energy. They don't have kinida b'chush she'ein, as you see in reality, she'ein shum hargoshas ke'ev migzizus v'chatichas hasaydus. There is no feeling of pain when you cut down, you shear the hair. Rak she'nin kosam me'atzim use. It's only that they're nurturing from the essence, but they themselves are a level of chitzonis. So this is the way the hair is by over here by a person. So likewise, all the other outers, they don't get their energy from the inner of Hashem's blessed measure. They only get from the level of Sidus. And also this, When do they get from the sidus? Einam elo la'achar gzizoso. It's only after they're cut off. So the rochel has the sidus. From the hair, the shearings of the hair, the clippers get, the goizezeho, the clippers get after it was sheared. The zehu kirochel lifnei goizezeho nelama. She is silent. Those who shear lifnei goizezeho dafke nelama. That in front of those who shear it, she is silent. Nelamti dumia. Nelamti dumia means I am silent and no speech. Basically, that the hamshocha doesn't come directly from speech. There's nalama, there's no speech over there because it has been removed from the speech. The level of dibur, which is on the 10th saying, which gives the energy of everything, that's in the level of silence and quiet. They don't get their energy from the 10 mamoras themselves. Only through garments and the hair that cover on the level of dibur. So nelama, there is no dibur there. Those who shear, which means the chitzonim, and they get from the sidus, they get it in a way of silencing. The Knesset Yisrael Malchus is not functioning in a way of dibur, not namshach. I'm a shekosim is a dibur amaschil v'hoya oir halavano gabe inyan meheri yishama chulu koil kalo bebira posik v'hoya misma b'nei Yisrael. So behine kol hamembeis masois hoyu b'chdei sheyunusu misanov. So he asked for what was the idea of the members masois was that those who hate Hashem should run away, which means the clippers should go run away, which means lebilti yiya lahem shum yinik chulo. They should not be able to nurture. They should have no nurturing from the kedusha. Behainu, and this took place al yidei nesias bnei Yisrael davke. Yidden's journey, they are the ones that basically chased away the enemies of Hashem. Since the Yidden were created in the tselem and in the demus, in the image, in the shape and in the image, in the form and in the image of Hashem, he's going to explain later on. The form means Yichudi Law, the image means Yichudi Tato, which means Yidden have the level of bittul. So with that level of bittul, their journey, they can go into the desert and be subduing the klippah. There should be no unique in there. The pasuk says, "Nasa Odom, it's Halmeinu Kid Museinu." So we see that the Yidden are made both in the form and in the image. And v'yirdu b'dgas hayom, and then that would give them dominance of the Amal Yom. Who is this Odom that we're talking about? See, the other pasuk says Odom Atem, that you are Odom, which means only a Yid, which means Atem Kurim Odom. So when it says Nasa Odom, it's really talking about the special koyach that a Yid has. V'lochein hakoil tolu b'maaseh b'nei Yisrael. And that's why everything hinges on the act of the Bnei Yisrael. So who is able to go through and chase away the Mesanov, Miponov, that they should have no effect? That is Dafke the Bnei Yisrael, because the Bnei Yisrael have the level of Tselem and they have the level of Mus. Inyan Tzalmeinu Musenu, the idea of Tzalmeinu Musenu, the That means that the person was created in the image and in the form from above, meaning that the Yid has both levels of bittul. He has the bittul, he comes from the level of the higher level of bittul, and also the lower level of bittul. The lower level of bittul means that although you're a yesh, but you're mevatel yourself, you have the union of bittul yesh. And the higher level of bittul is that there is lechatchila, no mitzias, that it's only the Ein Sof. The person is not really a mitzias to begin with. So it writes like this: the Museinu, the image, u'bechinas yichud tato. That's the level of bechinas yichud tato. What is the meaning of an image? Because shehu bechinas dmus umare. That's an image. It's a look. It looks alike. Shenidma v'nira lonu. Because to us it appears. It seems to us. Eretz v'shamayim b'chol abruim bechinas yesh v'davar. We see the heaven, the earth and the heavens, all the creations, as an entity, as something themselves. That's how it appears to us. But the truth is, Ani Havaya lo yishani siksi. It says, I Hashem have not changed. So it's not, there's no real yesh v'davar. There's nothing really existing because nothing changed. And you were before the world was created and after the same. Everything before Hashem is like nothing, actually like nothing. But it appears to the eyes of flesh. The world appeals to be an entity, something by itself. Al derech, the Musa Kisa, similar idea, we say, is the mus ki Mari Odom. There is an image of a Mari Odom. So that basically means we see an image. We have an appearance of an entity, which it's not true. Okay, it's only because the emerson is, there is no yesh b'fnei aswa. Everything is by Hashem. But that's the level of demuseinu, meaning we still have an image. But with salmeinu, that is the level of yichudillah. That is as it is true. That everything before him is like nothing. Just as it was before the world was created, same thing is now, without any change. So it was Hashem's wish to create the people in these two levels. Why did the Eibishter create us in a level of demus? Also, in a level of that we should fear ourselves as an entity. Because if Hashem wants to be our king, he has to create an am dafka, meaning a people, something separate. So the person has the power to draw down from the two bechinas, which is the surrounding world, which is the level of Yechudei Law, and the Malach, which is the level of Yehudato, because the Yid was created, and the Eibishter infused in his neshama these two madrigas. That's why we had all these 42 journeys. That is, in order to go out from the level of Mitzrayim, which is Bechinas Meitzerigvul, to go out from one's own level of limitation and boundaries, and to turn around from darkness to light, all the 7 midas and their specifics. Liyos. So we're turning around from the darkness to light. We're taking the Mitzrayim. We're taking the 7 midas, the personal midas, uprotoseyim, and the specifics of the midas, because each of these midas are included of 6, as we will see. So the 7, that's why it's 42. So that the Gedula, which is the level of Chesed, should be only to Hashem. Ad until L'cha Hashem Amlocha. That to the level of Hashem Amlocha Shebchinas HaMalchus Shu Dvar Havaya. You Hashem to the level of Malchus, which is Hashem's Dvar Malchus. Yeh B'Hizgalus HaOir L'Asor Mamoris should be revealed the light of the 10th saying, V'loi B'chinas Nalama, and not in a way like we said before, Nalama. V'nei Lefi Shekol Mida Klula Mishisha, because it's included of 6. Every midah is included of 6. Lochena masois heim b'mispar membeis. That's why the number is 42 membeis. Where do we find this? Kimoi shem ono b'choyach. Ono b'choyach gidul simincha. We do that in Sfiras HaOmer. So you have 7 psukim, and each pasuk has 7 letters. That's called the name Mab of Hashem, the name 42, which comes out from Yuz Ke Vav Ke when they're equals 42. So sheyesh b'zayin psukim. It has 7 psukim. Ub'chol pasuk shisha tevis, and every pasuk has 6 words. B'Hashem hanal hu b'chinas aliyah mimata l'maylo, and this name is in a way of aliyah mimata l'maylo meshikosu u'b'shtayim ye'oifev chulu, that with 2 you fly. So basically, you're bringing up, elevating all of the level of the shisha, the 7 times shisha, elevating each time if you bring it up to the highest level. And they take place. Who travels? Who does the masois? How do we elevate ourselves? Through Moshe Rabbeinu. Ki Moshe b'chinas yichudei lo. Moshe is the level of the higher level, yichudei lo. Lochei nikra Moshe. That's what we call him, Moshe. Why is Moshe? Moshe comes Meloshin, pulled him out from the water, which means took him from the water and brought him up. Min hamayim mishisu. L'choira hoyo tzorich likroise Moshe. We should have called him. We pulled him out a long time ago in the past tense. Not Moshe means present. Moshe means was pulled out. Loshin over should have been. Umau Moshe loshin hover. What do we say? Moshe means pulling out. It shows on the level of Likutei Torah. Shetomid nimshach v'nidla ha'ore v'hamshocha mebchinas oidei so baruch hu. You're constantly extending and drawing a ray and hamshocha from the Ein Sof. That's the idea of Moshe. It's continuous. That Moshe, for the daughters of Yisrael, when they were coming to the well over there, they were chasing them. So it says, Doloi, 2 times, which means he draws from the Ein Sof to bring it down. It's only like a drop from the ocean. That's why the worlds are subjugated, including in the blessed Atzmus, and they're considered like nothing next to Hashem. Gives back another interesting. A drop, a tipo is a gula, it's round. It's a tipo minayam, the hamshocha that comes down is like that with kumakein ha'oranal, makefes, shafefes, kol omen, kol tzad, that surrounds all the world from all sides. It's roundish. Soivev kolamen, as the pasuk says, "Hine makim iti," places with me. In other words, I am the place of the world. In other words, the world doesn't surround me, but I surround the world. The world is subjugated to Hashem. It appears to eyes of flesh that the world is an entity. There's something, and that's the idea of Moshe to be mamshich from the sefer into the world. Zo doli lonu davke to us. Zo bechinas yichudei lo shel parshas Shema Yisrael sheyesh bo gam ken shit tevim. This is the level of yichudei lo that in the portion Shema Yisrael has Also, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. There is 6 words. The same 6 that we're saying the Shema, the 6 times 7, level 6. Sha'al Yidei is bonus Yichudei Lo Anal, through this reflection Yichudei Lo Yalev Yagia B'chinas V'Havtu B'Chol Levavcha B'Shnei Yitzrecha. So, through the reflection, you will reach to love Hashem B'Chol Levavcha, which is between you 2 Yetzer Hara. The Ainul is Hapocha Kol Hamidus L'Hashem Lebadeh. That is to turn all the midas to Hashem. That is accomplished. That's the Eretz Hamid. That's the going in the Midbar. That's the elevation. That's Mamshech Moshe. Moshe Yichud Allah helps us turn around. Ahavta Hashem b'chol levavcha b'shnei tzedakah. V'ahavta Hashem elekecha. Ava umloshenova. Love comes want. Shebechinas usa the liba. It's the want of the heart. Sheyichevtzenu retzenenu. A desire, our want is Hashem elekecha b'chinas gilui. That we should want Hashem openly, in the revealed way, nothing else but Hashem. That is accomplished through Moshe Rabbeinu. That's what we say al dei Moshe Rabbeinu. Then we'll see also the level of Yichud Tato, level of Yira, level of Aaron as well.